And we're very grateful to all of you for coming today, sharing this time with us, this very exciting announcement. And welcome to the Bath Plant. We ordered this weather in special, so please enjoy summer. So we'll get started right away. It's my pleasure to introduce Dean Del Mastro. He is born and raised in Peterbough. That's the first thing in his biography on his website, so it's something he's the most proud of. He was elected as Member of Parliament for the Peterborough riding back in January 2006. He's currently in his third term as Member of Parliament, and in May of 2011, Dean was named Parliamentary Secretary to the Prime Minister. Mr. Del Mastro?
Well, good morning, everyone. It is absolutely delightful to join with everyone here in beautiful Bath, Ontario. I'd like to begin by thanking Lafarge for hosting us here this morning, for organizing this very impressive backdrop that we've got. And I don't just mean the truck, the entire backdrop is very impressive. And I am honored to be here. Aujourd'hui, d'une peu l'autre de pays, lors de rassemblement, comme celui-ci, le gouvernement Harper apporte de bonnes nouvelles pour les entreprises du secteur des écotechniques et pour l'environnement. Today, across the country, at events just like this one, our government, the Harper government, is bringing good news to Canadian clean tech companies and to the environment. We're announcing investments in projects that show great promise for producing and for using energy in a more clean and efficient manner. These projects are a clear signal of Canada's growing competitiveness in clean energy technologies, and that the clean tech sector is destined to become a key part of Canada's innovation-based, export-led economy. Indeed, the clean energy technology sector is already an important economic driver for the Canadian economy. The sector employs more than 52,000 Canadians in over 700 companies in all regions right across our great country. Part of a global supply chain estimated to be worth $10.6 billion. Our government recognizes that the global appetite for clean energy is enormous, and it presents many opportunities for Canadian businesses. And that's why we've created the Eco Energy Innovation Initiative, to invest in new clean energy technologies that, successful in themselves, will also create Canadian jobs, generate economic opportunities, and help protect our environment. Canada is, of course, already a global leader. Canada is the world's third largest in oil reserves, and we're the world's third largest producer of natural gas. We're also the world's third largest producer of hydroelectricity, and 3/4 of the electrical power that we produce generates no greenhouse gas emissions at all. That's right. 3/4 of the electricity that Canada produces creates no greenhouse gas emissions at all. In fact, when it comes to clean technology and renewable energy, Canada is making a name for itself for the great strides that we're making through innovation to improve energy efficiency in all areas, on roads, in our homes, and in the workplace. Since 2006, our government has invested more than $10 billion to reduce emissions and protect our environment. This includes investments in green infrastructure, green energy efficiency, clean energy technologies, and the production of cleaner energy and cleaner fuels. In particular, our Eco Energy Innovation Initiative was created to invest in new clean energy technologies that will help create jobs, generate economic opportunities, and help protect our environment. This program is investing $268 million to support research, development, and the demonstration of innovative clean energy technologies. It focuses on 5 key areas: energy efficiency, clean electricity and renewables, bioenergy, electrification of transportation, and unconventional oil and gas. And it supports collaboration and innovation among Canada's colleges and universities, industry and government to develop and demonstrate clean energy technologies and innovation to produce and use energy more cleanly and more efficiently. All this will help in the search for long-term solutions to reduce air pollutants from energy production and use. Today, right here in Bath, we are announcing an eco-energy innovation funding of more than $82 million for 55 promising projects right across Canada. These investments will help to widen and strengthen the foundation of Canada's growing clean tech sector. Here in Ontario, outside of the Toronto area, 5 projects are receiving funding from the Eco Energy Innovation Initiative, totaling almost $12 million. In fact, I'm pleased to announce that our host, Lafarge Canada, is receiving $2.68 million for a biomass project to process low-carbon waste materials in the cement industry. This project will take railway ties, telephone poles, construction waste, shingles, paper sludge, and coated cardboard and turn them into a form suitable for injection into a cement kiln. This will displace up to 10% of the conventional kiln fuel, which is a mixture of pulverized coal and petroleum coke. As well, Cimarron of Ottawa is receiving $865,000 for research and development into better energy efficiency for buildings, and Wasdell Falls LP, whose project is near Aurelia, is receiving $2 million to develop low-head hydro turbines. The Canada-Israel Industrial R&D Foundation is also receiving $5 million to establish the Canada-Israel Energy Science and Technology Fund, which will see Canada and Israel pursue further cooperation to advance shared energy interests. The fund will support high-quality scientific research to support high-quality scientific research partnerships in the future. The other research that we are supporting through the Eco Energy Innovation Initiative covers a wide range of clean energy projects, including smart grid technology, control systems for integrating renewable power from solar and wind, biomass projects, low-head hydro turbines that are fish-friendly and can work in shallow water, feasibility studies for renewable energy, power plants for the far north off-grid locations, and projects that turn municipal waste into clean energy. That's the scale and scope of innovation we're seeking, and that's the kind of innovation we're supporting. Energy and natural resources are a huge part of Canada's economy. Taking into account direct and indirect impacts, the natural resources sector represents 20% of Canada's nominal GDP. They employ directly and indirectly about 1.6 million Canadians, including several thousand in my home, the electric city, Peterbough, Ontario. The vitality of our energy sector as a whole is, of course, the backdrop as Canada and other nations increasingly rely on clean energy for growth and long-term prosperity. Innovation is an essential factor in the clean energy sector. Our government, through our Eco Energy Innovation Initiative and other programs, is demonstrating our strong support for innovation by investing in projects that show promise for producing and using energy in a more clean and efficient manner. By taking this aggressive approach to clean energy investments, we're balancing our needs for energy with other considerations. Our need to protect the environment, our need to develop Canada's competitiveness, its productivity and its capacity for innovation, and our need to maintain a robust and expanding economy that will stimulate job creation. I'm sure everyone here today would agree that all these projects, all these goals are realistic, they're practical, they're achievable. Because here, especially, we can all see the tremendous potential for technology to help ensure that future generations enjoy a healthy environment, a cleaner environment, a more prosperous economy for each and every Canadian. Thank you so much.
Now I have the distinct pleasure of introducing someone that I know quite well, our plant manager here at the Bath Cement Plant. Richard Sebastianelli has been with Lafarge for how many years, Richard? 22 years. He's held a number of senior positions, including currently the Bath Cement Plant manager. He's also the plant manager for Seattle and also performance manager with our technical group. Richard?
Thank you, Rob. I guess everyone is hockeyed out this afternoon. Some of you are quite happy, I'm sure, and some of you are quite sad. I'm the one that's quite sad today. Mr. Del Mastro, Mr. Adamson, esteemed guests, and all our partners in this project, on behalf of Lafarge Canada and our Bath Plant team members, I want to welcome you today and celebrate with us the launch of our exciting low-carbon fuels project. Cher Monsieur Del Mastro, Monsieur Adamson et tous nos invités et nos partenaires dans ce projet, de la part de Lafarge, je vous remercie d'être ici et de toute mon équipe qui est présente aussi. Je vous souhaite la bienvenue au lancement de ce projet magnifique LCF. Lafarge is Canada's largest building material manufacturer with 6,000 employees across Canada from the Atlantic to the Pacific. We produce cement, aggregate, and concrete. But more importantly, our vision is to become the leading provider of construction solutions that build better towns, cities, and communities. The communities where we live and work, along with the infrastructure that supports our towns and cities, such as road, bridges, water, waste management, can and will benefit from the solutions we provide through Lafarge. We have been part of the Bath community for 4 years, and we are committed to being here in southeastern Ontario for the long haul. Loyals Township, Greater Napanee, and the City of Kingston have all expressed their drive towards more sustainable communities. Our neighbors, customers, communities, and employees all expect that we too will integrate sustainable solutions into our manufacturing activities at Bath, and we do. I'm proud to report that this past week, our plant was recognized by North American cement industry with multiple environmental excellence awards, which are there for you to view. These awards from our industry peers recognize our efforts in recycled cement, recycled content, resource efficiency, low carbon cement, reduced energy use, reduced emissions, and reduced greenhouse gas emissions. In particular, it recognized the world-class work we are doing right here in Bath in developing the next generation of low-carbon fuels. Before I talk about our low-carbon fuels project, please allow me to build on the context. Our industry is an integral part of our country's past, present, and future. There is more concrete used every year than all other building materials combined. Our plant here in Bath can produce enough cement to build a CN tower every 4 days. However, making the cement requires a lot of energy, where we reach temperatures more than 1,500 degrees C. You can basically melt rock at these temperatures in that long kiln right here. The Bath plant has sought out the advice from local expertise such as Queen's University, WWF, Pollution Probe, and so many others. For example, we have learned much from Dr. Warren Mabey, who is here present, Dr. Andrew Pollard, and their Queen's University research teams, which are also present. Based on our early work together, they showed us that virgin biomass-based fuels can achieve at least 90% reduction in carbon emissions on a lifeline cycle. This work also indicates that biogenic energy-containing materials such as construction, demolition wood, and railway ties will produce the same results, or even better when the full cycle is considered by Dr. Mabey's teams. At the end of this summer, the Bath plant will be taking Queen's University work out of the laboratory to demonstrate the full-scale use of low-carbon fuel. We will use biogenic materials from local partners, Scout Environmental, and RailLink, a Métis-run family business. It's a great initiative. We will help lower green gas emissions and make use of materials that our municipalities currently don't have solutions for. We'll be starting small with a 10% replacement of fossil fuels and hoping to reach 30% in the next few years. A 30% replacement of fossil fuels is expected to reduce 80,000 tons of carbon. This is equivalent to 17,000 cars out of the roads annually. It's quite impressive. From the small project and other projects around the world, we indeed can make a difference. That's why we hope this project will contribute to the global industry adoption of low-carbon fuels, while at the same time helping their cities and communities around the world to find high-value solutions for surplus and end-of-life materials. Based on this science, we hope to reduce not only carbon emissions, but other emissions as well. For example, Dr. Pollard is working with us to see if we can use low-carbon fuels to reduce NOx emissions. This project is important on so many levels. Replacing fossil fuels with energy-containing materials makes us full partners with our communities in reducing our collective carbon emissions. It will allow our partners such as Pollution Probe, WWF Canada to develop policies that will ensure the safe, thoughtful expansion of low-carbon fuel technologies to other sectors, making better cities. I want to thank our partners who believe in our project and enabled us to put together $8 million in investment, including Lafarge's direct investment of $4 million into the equipment necessary to deliver these materials into our process system using a system designed and built by Mesa Bioenergy. We are pleased that the Cement Association is also partnered with us in this project so that the whole cement industry can adopt low-carbon fuels. We are grateful for Natural Resources Canada financial support on this project, and both to Carbon Management Canada and the Ontario Centres of Excellence for their support to Queen's University as they seek ways of further expanding the use of cleaner fuel in Canadian industry. Once again, thank you all partners and community leaders for joining us today. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Richard. I was realized earlier I was so intent on introducing our esteemed guest that I forgot to introduce myself. I think most of you know me quite well, but my name is Rob Cumming, the Environment and Public Affairs Manager here at the Bath Plant. Very proud to be part of the team here at the plant. And I've been working with this project for 4 or 5 years with a number of you out there. So our last speaker is Richard Adamson. He is the Managing Director of Carbon Management Canada, has been with Carbon Management Canada for 3 years. He's had 30 years of experience in the commercialization of new technologies. Richard.
Thank you, Rob. In particular, I want to thank you for inviting me to participate in this event and for you going out of your way to provide the kind of weather we're getting today. I also want to thank the rest of the Lafarge team. This is a tremendous project. I know how much time and effort goes into pulling all of the players together that makes this kind of a project happen, and that's that in itself is a demonstration of the commitment. I find often working with industry partners, it isn't just the availability of the funds that get invested, it's the commitment demonstrated by applying the human resources, time and effort to put the projects together that really demonstrates the level of commitment. So I want to applaud Lafarge on that work. I also want to acknowledge the hard work of Dr. Mabey, Dr. Pollard, and Dr. Matovich and the rest of the team in developing this relationship, working with the industrial partners here. It's tremendous to see this happening. I'm going to talk for a couple of minutes about Carbon Management Canada because I know many of you may not be familiar with this. We're only about 3 years old, and in that time we've established a network of 27 universities across Canada, plus many more internationally. We support research projects, approximately 44 projects right now valued at $22 million, and that's based on funds received from the federal government and the province of Alberta and industry. And in fact, it's the province of Alberta funding that has allowed us to support this project. What's really important is that we are driving toward multidisciplinary, multi-sectoral, multi-institutional collaborations in order to deliver game-changing greenhouse gas emissions reductions in the industrial sector. So what does that mean? Yes, we support academic researchers and help early career researchers, graduate students and postdocs advance their careers, and yes, we encourage publication and widespread dissemination of results through the global academic community. But what's really important about our work is bringing together academics and industry to enable the transformation of industrial infrastructure to continue to survive and thrive in a carbon emissions constrained future. Developing and especially transferring to practice the technologies, policies, and business practices that will enable a responsible, strong, and globally competitive industrial base is absolutely necessary. In short, the objective is to reduce carbon emissions, not just to publish papers. The future will surely involve services, software, and data, but it will also require stuff. Stuff like buildings and roads and sidewalks, stuff like chemicals and plastics and metals and minerals and fuels and, of course, cement. To be sure, we will learn how to be more efficient, less wasteful, and more responsible consumers, but that just reduces the amount of stuff we need. At the same time, the entire developing world is rising itself out of poverty, and their need for stuff is growing exponentially. So projects like this one demonstrate leadership in exploring how to reduce the impact of industrial processes, and this is important to Canada as we commit to moving into a more economically, environmentally, and socially sustainable future. But it's also important to the world that Canada develop and demonstrate these technologies and then share them around the world. Because the real impact of the kind of collaboration happening here is not going to be in reducing carbon emissions intensity in Canadian cement plants. The real potential and the real driver that we are all working toward is solving global problems and applying these solutions worldwide. I want to congratulate again the full Lafarge team in their clear commitment to leadership in exploring these important new pathways. Thank you.
So before I ask our speakers to come back up to take a couple of questions, I did want to point out a few people in the audience, our direct partners on this project, so that if you have questions for them, you'll know who they are. So from Queens, we have Dr. Actually, it's like an Oscar ceremony here. I'm going to try to get this done as quickly as possible. So I thank everybody. But if you could stand very quickly when I say your name so that people can find you. So Dr. Warren Mabey, Canada Research Chair in Renewable Energy. Dr. Andrew Pollard could not be here today. He's in New York working on renewable energy. Dr. Linghong Zhang, doing postdoctoral studies. Our two students, Jamie Davis and Jeffrey Leslie. I don't believe Dr. Matovich was able to come. We also have our technical or our production partners. So Joshua Alfonso from Rail Inc., Métis organization, family run, and we're delighted to have them part of this project. The George Scott from Scott Environmental, there he is. How could I miss George? He's based in Kingston and will be producing some of our fuels for us as well. Mesa Bioenergy, as you heard mentioned, is the company that's delivering and producing, manufacturing the system for us to do our test work. So Matt McCardle. We also have Josh Loughran, Climate Director with WWF Canada. Unfortunately, he could not join us today as Bob Oliver from Pollution Probe. He also has an eco-energy project, and he couldn't be in two places at one time. He does send his regrets, but he is definitely available by phone today for those of you who may want to call him. Kirk Eastoe from RWDI. RWDI will be doing all our emission testing for the next 3 years as part of the program. A couple others, Adam Auer, Director of Sustainability of the Cement Association of Canada. Mark Wickham with Natural Resources Canada, the actual program that's funding us, and thank you. And thank you to Carbon Management as well. A few others as well. We have two of our union leadership are from Communication, Energy, and Paperwork Local 219, Ben Struthers and Doug Chisholm. They're in the back there. And last but not least, our mayor from Loyalist Township, Bill Lowry.